Hi, it's Amy from paperandspool.com, and I'm back again working on my December daily, and I'm working today on day 8 and day 9. I have the stuff kind of ready for day 8 and kind of laid out here, but I wanted to show you my process as I put it all together. And I don't really have much ready for day 9 yet. I have some photos printed, which I'll show you when I'm finished up with this day 8 stuff, and kind of look at how I might incorporate that day 9 stuff into what I'm going to do here afterwards. So for now, let me show you what I've got set out for the day 8. I also have a little video here. I'll just I'll show you the thing first, and then I'll flip over to a little bit of a tutorial on how to do it so that you can see. But what I did is I did some more hand lettering for this one on my iPad with the Apple Pencil and the Procreate app. And this one says Accio Butterbeer Latte, because my spread for day 8 here is going to be about going to see the Hogwarts gingerbread house. A local bake shop here in Edmonton has built a massive Hogwarts gingerbread house, and they have it on display in the shop. And they're collecting for a local shelter organization. They're collecting socks and raffling off the chance to destroy the gingerbread house, which seems so sad. Like, if I won, I would probably just ask if I could take it home, because it was amazing. So I've got some photos of that, but I also did this lettering, and then I cut it on my Silhouette Studio, or on my Silhouette Cameo, into like a, I guess it's kind of latte colored, like a beigey vinyl, and I'm planning on doing a bit of an overlay here. And so I could have just printed this off in black and white like I did with the previous one, like on a transparency or a piece of vellum, but I had this color vinyl and I thought that it would be a good fit. So I'm gonna be attaching that. So if you're interested in how I cut this, like I said, I'll flip over to a little tutorial video here, and you can kind of see me working in the Silhouette Studio and how that goes together. So today I'm gonna show you how to trace your whatever art you might have in the Silhouette Studio. And what I did here is I just brought in a JPEG of the art that I lettered on my iPad last night. So here's the artwork that I made myself. And the first step is to go over here to the side and find the trace icon. It kind of looks like a butterfly. It says open the trace panel, and then you click select trace area. I'm just going to drag it across, making sure that all of my design is inside. This is something that I'm sure you can find better tutorial videos for than mine. And I'm just going to increase the high pass, because if you notice when it was down here, you could see some of the black edges. And I'm going to increase that so that you get a little bit less of that. So the design is a little bit more bold. It's getting all of the pixel information. And then you click trace. So that has traced my design. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to just shove this back over into the corner because I don't want to use up more vinyl than I have to for this. And I'm just going to double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's maybe a little big. I'm just going to decrease it so that it's under 7. Well, maybe right at 7. So what I have, it looks like it's a pretty, like it traced really neatly. I'm not too worried about any of these little bumps or anything like that. Actually, I'm going to just, if I point edit it here, I'm going to delete a few, oops. I'm going to delete a few of these small little spots with the point editor, just because I'm pretty sure I won't be able to weed that. And I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying. The rest of it looks pretty solid. I'm not worried about, like, this is going to be fine. That'll come off in one piece, and then there's going to be a couple of little areas here. So the rest of it is fine. So I'll leave that. So I just cleaned up this area here so it didn't have 2 tiny little pieces to pull off. This is a little bit squared, but I'm pretty sure if I tried to edit it, it wouldn't go well. So then I'm going to go over here to, at the top, I'm going to go to send, and I'm going to pick, I have a matte kind of light gray vinyl is how I would describe it, like beigey gray. And I have it on a cutting mat just because it's a piece, like it was a 12 by 12 piece. It's not a roll. So I'm not too concerned with how that's going to go. It does have a bit of a fold in it, so I'm going to try and just bring that fold to the bottom of the page, since I know it won't cut to the bottom anyways. I hate when you buy vinyl that's rolled up. I find when you unroll it, it kind of goes crazy. So it's asking me for a blade depth of 1. It's going to be going like this. I'm not too worried about double pass on a vinyl. I'll see how it goes. I have enough of this vinyl that if this one doesn't work out well, I can print again. So I'm just going to send that to the silhouette now. So now what I have to do, and I'm just going to move the album out of the way for this part here. Now what I have to do is I have to apply the transfer tape, and I've got some transfer tape here, and I did kind of check that this would be a decent size for it, and I'm going to just do that now and put it on top of the transparency. And I'm just using, I'm pretty sure that the transparencies I bought on Amazon were just like the Amazon Basics transparencies. They're nothing fancy. They're not as thick as what you might get if you buy a transparency pack or transparency that goes along with a collection. Because sometimes, like a lot of the American Crafts collections have like at least one specialty paper with each collection, and these transparencies that I got from Amazon are certainly not as thick as those. But I find that for what I'm doing here and for my own purposes, they're working just fine. So you want to get it on the transfer tape, and then you kind of want to burnish it a little bit. And I'm just looking around. I don't have a popsicle stick. Works really great for this. I just have this little wood veneer piece that I'll use. Guitar picks work really great for this if your husband's a guitar player, or if you're a guitar player. It's an easy grab. Just kind of burnish it on so that it sticks, and then the trick comes when you want to try and pull out the backing. So I always go really slowly, although it looks like I needn't have here. It stuck to the transfer tape really, really well. I have one small piece of the wand that didn't, but I can stick that by hand afterwards. And so what I have here is a piece of transparency paper, and it's probably hard to see. So what I'm going to do, I want to make sure that this lines up with my photo as well. And I can always trim this afterwards. I'm not too worried about that. But I want to make sure it lands where I want it to land here. Whenever you're in doubt, I don't know, if you're having trouble placing an item or you're not sure exactly where it should go, there's a couple of things that you can kind of do to make sure that it looks good to your eye. And one of them, of course, is the rule of thirds, which now on my cell phone camera and even in the app that I use to edit my photos is really, really easy to find the thirds. Like I use PicTapGo, and so they show you the thirds as you're editing, so cropping is really, really easy. But whenever you're trying to center something or put it kind of in the middle, it's always a good rule of thumb to go slightly higher than middle. Because if it's actually exactly middle, your eye will feel that it's a little low. And so you'll notice that I put this slightly higher than middle. And there it goes, Accio Butterbeer Latte. That looks awesome. It's exactly what I was hoping for. It's a very subtle kind of thing. It's not huge, but it's there. And I think I might trim this transparency down just a little bit because I want to add a tab so that you can kind of lift it up and see the castle underneath is my idea here. So I'm just going to trim down that transparency a little bit on both sides. And then I'm planning on adhering it to the top of this photo with washi tape so that I can lift it up. There's the piece. And this side needs a little bit off as well. I thought I left enough room for the holes when I measured it out, but I did not. So we'll take a little bit off that side as well because I want it to be able to lift. So I want to line it up properly with this edge and the top edge here, and then I'm going to put a little tab at the bottom to lift it up. And let me just see, I had that one small piece that didn't come off initially. I'm just going to hand bomb that onto there. So there's the transfer, and then for the tab, I'm going to use this black kind of star paper, and I've actually had to pull this out of my Halloween stash. This was not a part of my December stash. One little trick that I like with these, this is a really big punch, and so it can be kind of tricky to manage, and so working on it from the back is always easier than trying to punch down and hoping that you kind of land in the right area. So that one is a nice one to do from the back instead of from the front. All right, so I'm just gonna tape runner this one. I like to give them lots of adhesive because I don't like little tabs falling off. And this is a slightly different tab than I've been using in the rest of the album. This is just going to be a paper tab. But one of the things that I like about using this punch and having this paper tab is that now I can look, I can't stamp on it obviously because I picked such a dark piece of paper, and that's okay. But now I can actually add a little phrase strip or a small sticker on here, and that will be a good fit there in terms of a little bit of added embellishment. So let's see what I've got here. I've got a variety of phrase strip stickers. Ooh, I like this one. So there is a magic. I could have used that. And magical memories, but the magical memories would have been too big for that one. But I'm just going to put believe here. I like that. I think that's a sentiment that'll work there for me. Okay, so I'm going to attach, so this is the photo of our food, and everything there is absolutely amazing. They have macarons and tarts and scones, and I had the tartiflette, and they did butterbeer lattes, which is where the Accio butterbeer latte is coming from. And so I'm going to put this on the back. This will be the end of the spread. And I ended up with so many photos because, as you can imagine, especially for a Harry Potter fan, it was amazing. Like, every detail on this castle was absolutely perfect, and it was just so incredible. So I'm going to line these guys up here. I didn't do a great job of lining them up. And then I'm going to attach this one, and I think I am going to go, I had pulled 3 different washies here, a gold glitter, a black and white, and a green and white stripe. And I think I'm going to go with the green and white stripe. I like that green that I got down at the bottom. And I think I'd like to add a little bit more green here at the top. So I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to put the washi I got a little bit of a fold in it. Oh dear, and now I've dropped it. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab that up. I'll finish what I'm doing here first though. Sometimes I worry a little bit about washi. I've had occasionally in some older albums that I go back and I have to kind of re-adhere washi or put some red line tape underneath it. So if you're worried about your washi, you could certainly do that. Put some red line tape on it from the start, and then you wouldn't have to go back and fix it. So I'm just going to follow that rounded corner here. Yeah, perfect. That works out really well. So now I'm also going to do the same on the inside, because I find that if you do the double layer, then it's a little bit more likely to stay. so that's what I ended up looking like here. I've got my liftable transparency on top of the photo, and then on the back I've got that photo of all of our food with the slight washi on the top. And so what I'll do is I will hole punch that to fit in here. I'll just open that. I like to match up my holes with a page protector. I find it's the easiest way to make sure that I'm getting it right. And this was a trick, I think I learned this from Allie last year, Allie Edwards. If you open up your tool, you can see inside. And so that's a fancy way to make sure you're always getting your hole in exactly the right spot. And I just love the accuracy of it. Like, to me, it seems so much better than, like, same as with the punch, right? Like, less of a shot in the dark and more accuracy there. Good, so I did get the transparency a little bit. I'm not too worried about it because it's gonna just flip up and like, right like that. Very easy, so that works there. So that's actually gonna be the end of my spread. I have, for the other side here, I have quite a few photos and cards kind of set out and ready to go. And so here's the 8 that I had down, and this is an old number. I think it's from the 2014 kit. It's from the year that we got double papers anyways, and I think that that was 2014. So I'm gonna be putting that one there, and the photo of myself and my sister, and then my like almost sister, I guess I could call her, but Kristen. She's lived with us in the past, and she's quite a good friend of ours. And the three of us went to check out that castle together. And this is actually where I plan on putting my journaling, on that card with the 8. So I'm gonna come, well, some of it. I have more for the other side. I'm gonna flip it over here. So I had this rose gold December, and as well as it goes along with my own writing, I think I'm gonna take that out, although I do kind of like the black and white of it a little bit better. Anyways, I'm gonna put this picture of the latte with the castle. And then here's a trick that I love for when you have a 4x6 for one side, but you don't have a 4x6 for the other side, and it's not matching up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, on the back of this 4x6 card here, I'm gonna adhere, I think, the 2 of them. I was kind of thinking this one were better when we're together, and it had the yellow or the pink, but I kind of like the December. And let's flip back over here because I want to put this one in. This one says Choose Magic. And the only thing I didn't love about the Choose Magic card and the We're Better When We're Together is they weren't quite the same shade of white. This one is a much brighter white than this one. This one's a more like grayed out white. And so I'm thinking that I might like the look of this December card with the 2018 a little bit better. But I'm wondering if I want to balance towards the white space on the bottom. Yes, I think I'm gonna go that way. Actually, I might actually go back to where it was before, just to get the best. I'm still gonna alternate the photos. Like, I don't want the 2 photos on the same side. I want a little bit more balance than that. But if I bring the white space in so that it's not too right beside each other and matchy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adhere these, the back of this is hilarious. It's a really bright pattern. I'm gonna adhere these cards to the back of the 4x6. And this is just gonna be sitting in a pocket. So it doesn't have to be the best tape job ever, although I am gonna have to trim that card down. This card, this Choose Magic card, I believe is from a Studio Calico kit. I can't tell you which one. I do not remember. It could be from sometime in the last year. It could be older than that. I've been a subber at Studio Calico now for many, many years. So I have lots and lots of cards and lots of kits. So that's how that's gonna work there with my Choose Magic and then December. And then I've got this. And then the final page of the spread is over here on this side with the food. And so because I have that green Believe there, I was thinking I would try and look for, oh no, I know what I have. I have this great piece, Cookies and Milk. I love that. And especially because you'll see in a couple of minutes what I have sort of ready for this side. And I think it will tie in really, really well with this idea of cookies and milk. So I'm gonna put that one over here for now. And then we're gonna flip back over to here. So I wanna add my journaling on the 8. Oh, the rose gold looks so good on this side too though. Maybe that's the better idea. Let's put my 8 on this side. Yeah, okay, I like that a lot. So I'm gonna keep the rose gold on this side with the photo of my tart that I brought home in a box and the photo of my sisters and I. And then I'm gonna put this one on the other side. And this is where I'm planning on doing my journaling. So I want it to kind of fit around the 8. I think I'm gonna try to not journal inside the number itself. So I'm gonna start writing at the top and see how it goes here. Okay, so there is the journaling. Now, for embellishments for this spread, so especially after my last couple of days that have been really embellishment heavy, this is super light. Like there's not a lot going on here. And I don't think I'm gonna add too much. I think all I'm gonna do here is just look through my stash and see what gold embellishments I have. So trying to kind of sparkle it up just a little bit and see what I've got. Actually, in that case, if I'm gonna look for gold embellishments, I'm gonna flip that guy and see if I can find something bright for this. And normally I would probably staple that to just kind of keep it down, but because I already adhered those photos on the back, I'm gonna avoid that. If it falls, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of extra adhesive. So I've got that on the front, and then I've got my journaling on the back here. And then for this, okay, yeah, that'll work. Oh, or that. Ooh, it's nice on the thing, but maybe I want, oh, but I don't have any copper hearts. I only have the gold hearts. And I'm gonna go with the slightly smaller size yet again. Sometimes I find that when you use like the bigger size, it just can kind of take over, and it's not necessarily what I want.